My name is Carrie Perkins, and I'm a cultural anthropologist. I'm based in Dallas, Texas at Southern Methodist University, and I'm currently finishing up a PhD with a focus on refugees and forced migrations.
My name is Wael Yassin. I come from Lebanon, and I'm currently working with the International Committee of Red Cross as a senior field officer.
My name is Manolo Caviezel. I'm Swiss. I work for Swiss Solidarity, which is the major donor of humanitarian aid in Switzerland.
My name is Zaina Mohanna from Lebanon. I am specialized in human rights and work with an NGO called Amal Association International.
My name is Robert Akiza. I am originally from Congo, but I stay in Uganda and I've been there for the last 8 years now as a refugee. And in Uganda, I work with a refugee grassroots organization called Young African Refugees for Integral Development that I started myself with my other colleagues.
I'm Annie Ban. I'm Kashmiri by origin, but I'm also British and brought up in Scotland. I currently work for the Committee on Civil Liberties, Justice and Home Affairs.
I applied for the summer school because I had heard about it from several colleagues at my university who had also attended and had really just made the comment that they learned more about refugees in 1 month here than they had in several years in the field.
So I believe that coming to the Refugee Study Center and to the Summer School of Forced Migration will enable me to have a better understanding of the causes and consequences of the forced migration in the world.
I succeeded to attend this course due to the generous scholarship of the Asfari Foundation. I was very interested since a long time ago to attend a course in academia that let me think back, have a step back in the humanitarian support that we are conducting in the field.
I applied for the summer school mainly to take a step back from over 6 years of work that I'd done on migration issues.
I would say that the summer school is a highlight by itself. It's the opportunity to step back from our daily work, from the operations, and to think about issues related to forced migration, to the concept of forced migration itself, to what influences forced migration, to the consequences of it and the responses as well. One of the highlights in that sense is that we have the opportunity to meet some of the most respected experts in the field of forced migration.
One of the highlights for sure was the law module. Coming from an anthropological background myself, I felt a little bit out of depth in the law piece, but going into that module, I feel like I have a much better grasp on refugee law, both international law and then law in the EU. So being able to speak with some of the top legal minds in the world that deal with refugee law has just been an incredible opportunity.
What I benefited till now is that to look and to deeply into topics that are of my concerns, like the Syrian refugees, the Syrian crisis, also the Palestinian refugees.
This course allowed me to think critically about the humanitarian work that we are conducting, especially through the approaches that we are learning in the legal approach, anthropological approach, and the political approach, which give an interdisciplinary frame for the issues of humanitarian support.
My highlights so far are listening to some of the key lectures. They've been really insightful. They've opened up new ideas, new ways of thinking. But then our seminars, our tutorial groups, give us the opportunity to put the ideas raised in those lectures really into practice and to see how those lines of thought can be translated into our current work and how it can also change some of the approaches that we take.
If you look to the backgrounds of the participants, their experiences, working in different contexts, dealing with the forced migration, so you can learn from them. This is a good and very important part of this summer school, to interact with this diversity of people.
The dynamics between the participants is crucial. We all come from different points in the process of dealing with forced migration, whether it's people working directly with determining refugee status, for example, or whether it's people like myself who are implementing the policies at the other end for receiving or not forced migrants.
One of the biggest advantages and added value of the summer school is to have so many expert practitioners, but also academics, gathered in the same place, willing to share information, interested in a topic, and who also have time to do all that.
One of the most important things about this school, aside from the curriculum, which I feel is really on the cutting edge, the most valuable piece to me has been the ability to interact and network with people outside of academia. So often when working on a PhD, you're constantly surrounded by other people that are in the theoretical world. But this course has allowed me to interface and speak to people that are on the ground. So not only practitioners, but people at all levels in the UNHCR and the UN that have really been able to give me a different perspective on my work and bring their experience about their work with refugees on the ground to my thinking.
It was a good opportunity for me to be here, to attend this summer school. I'm sure it will help me to develop my career. So it will give me a bit the academic background, which will enable me to have like a broader thinking.
I want to continue reflecting on the work that we do within the committee, the EU responses to forced migration. And I want to look more in depth at legal migration considerations as well, and the policies that we've been pursuing in that area, to continue with the reflective thinking, with the lessons that I have learnt and I'm continuing to learn on this course, and allow them to be part of a process of possibly changing the way that I approach EU policy in my work.
As I work with the community and from the community, what I've learned here, I'm going to share it with other people, because this is also part of my responsibility. So once I get back to Kampala, I will have to, to help also those who don't understand some of the issues here.
Finally, the summer school was overall a very rich experience on the personal level or on the professional level.
Oxford is probably the best place in England. Overall, just the opportunity to stay in Oxford for a month is a really special opportunity to get to feel like you're a student here in the town, in the beautiful city with all of their lovely pubs and evening activities. It's just been a really special experience.